All right, Joe, here we are back, getting ready for the start of the second half. Norristown will be receiving the ball. Methacton will be defending the east goal line. And it was a very interesting first half, Joe. And the second half should provide us with a lot of action. It's been a cat and mouse game so far. What are your assessments of the first half, and what do you anticipate happening in the second?
Well, I think the game is living up to my expectations. It's a relatively tight defensive struggle, relatively penalty-free. I think it's going to follow the same pattern in the second half, as you said, Tom, correctly. A cat and mouse game, field position.
All right, here's Penn
and I think it's going to come down to a break.
Fielded by Coleman, number 2. Takes the ball up to 15. Crosses the 20. Brought down 25-yard line.
35.
Make that to 35, Joe. Norristown's going to take over 1st and 10 here. And let's see if they vary their offensive scheme here in the start of the second half. First half, they stay mainly to the run game.
Yeah, this has been a fun game. This has been a fun game to broadcast.
Official call timeout here, I believe, for an equipment adjustment by one of the defensive players of the Warriors.
You know, Tom, it always amazes me how some of these boys can play both ways, offense and defense, and play with such heart on both sides of the ball. They have to be exhausted after 48 minutes.
Well, I'm sure they are. But fortunately tonight is not that warm, and that ball was carried by number 2. That was Coleman. Coleman and Pettigrew are in the Norristown backfield.
Number 43, that was Ron Pagnotta, defensive leader for the Warriors on the stop.
Ron Pagnotta, a year ago, Joe, was a student at Norristown High School, transferred back to Methacton, and he's the brother of Mike Pagnotta, outstanding wrestler here.
Mike stayed at Norristown, and
to my knowledge, he wrestled for Coach Steve Harner. That is correct. Backs in the eye. Coleman again on the carry. Or is that Johnson? There's a flag in the Norristown backfield. That was Ronnie Coleman. I'm not sure about the extent of the seriousness of the injury to Sammy Johnson. He did return to the Norristown backfield late in the second period.
I'm looking for him on the sideline, Tom.
With the preliminary report that I received at halftime, Joe, is that it was not cramps, that it was in fact a knee injury.
Okay.
So maybe they're guarding him in case that it could be more serious than they originally thought it to be.
That's right. You don't want to take any chances whatsoever.
Meanwhile, big penalty against Norristown. Taking the ball back to the 29-yard line. It's going to bring up a 2nd and 16 for Norristown.
All right, here's Anthony Carmona over the ball. I formation. He keeps the ball over the right side. Tackled by number 81. That would be Mike Piazza. Plays tight end on offense and defensive end on defense. One of those two-way performers.
And what are the odds that he may be related to Mike Piazza, the all-star catcher for the New York Mets? A lot of family in this area.
Absolutely.
Could be a relative.
Yep. Athletic ability is there.
Sure is.
All right, here's the Eagles with a 3rd and 12. If Methacton can hold the Eagles here, the Warriors will get excellent field position on a exchange of a punt.
Let's see if Anthony can't come up with a big play here, Joe.
Eagles in the I formation on a blitz. They picked up the blitz very well. Carmona made the first down. Round the left side, he dove for the first down, and I think he made it. Big play by Anthony Carmona.
Joe, Anthony showed great speed there.
Didn't he, though?
As he turned the corner. He outran people that had an angle on him, and I think he did get to the sticks.
Yes, he did. It'll be 1st and 10. Anthony Carmona picked up 13 yards on a quarterback keeper.
A real big play by Norristown there to retain possession of the ball to open the second half. The ball now sits at the Methacton, Joe, the 46.
All right, here come the Eagles. Deep back in the eye is Robbie Coleman. There's a handoff to Coleman around the right side. Runs into about 4 Methacton defensive players led by Marvin Phoenix.
Joe, what's helped Methacton for the duration of this game is after that initial 40-some yard run, 35-yard run by Sammy Johnson to start the Norristown ground game there, they really have contained Norristown as far as preventing the big play.
Yes, they have, and that was what Coach Marenkoff was very, very fearful of. The Norristown big gain strike. Here's Carmona. Coleman fighting, showing second and third effort, squeezed out about another yard.
The key there, Joe, is that Coleman kept his knees pumping, kept the legs pumping. And that, for you young fans and you young football players out there, take a lesson from Robbie Coleman there. If you keep those legs churning and keep your momentum going, you could break a tackle or two, and that could have been a 3-yard loss. It ended up
a 1-yard gain.
A 1-yard gain on that.
Yep. All right, Methacton in their 4-4-3 defense. Here's Carmona over the ball. There's 46 on a blitz again. Nice look-in pass down to the Methacton 39-yard line. That's number 17.
That's Witter. That's their young sophomore. Kenny Witter. It's going to be a good one, Joe. He's big and strong. 6'1", 180 sophomore. Also a very good basketball player.
That's a big boy for a sophomore.
A lot of the people feel Norristown has one of the best sophomore football classes that they've had in years. A lot of size, talent, and good, solid kids as far as academically and citizenship.
Ball just inside the 40-yard line. Pitch to Coleman. Methacton was ready for that one. No less than 4 Warrior defenders stopped Coleman for a loss of about 2 yards.
Joe, I'm impressed with number 46, linebacker for Methacton, senior Steve Molesky. He's been blitzing. That time he filled the hole. He's a very active player, good size, and he seems to be the leader of that Methacton defense, along with Piazza and
Hobbs
and Pagnotta. They have some football players out there.
All right, second down, 11 yards to go. Split backs. There goes number
Johnson.
3, Johnson, to the 25, to the 20.
Now, Joe, that was a well-executed play because I really didn't know who had the ball. Sammy Johnson did a great job breaking into the clear.
Carmona did an excellent job with faking the ball.
Methacton was totally flat-footed on that, Joe.
It's a well-executed play from start to finish. Excellent blocking, excellent faking in the backfield by Carmona, capped off by a fine run by the young Coleman. Here's Carmona over the ball. Norristown in the I formation. Straight up the middle.
To the 15, Joe.
Grinds out about 3 yards. It'll be second down and 7.
Joe, it's important here. If Norristown could take the ball into the end zone for a touchdown and get a 14-3, 13-3 lead, it's going to be tough for Methacton with their ball control to come up, have to have 2 scores. It's important Norristown here takes the ball into the end zone, and they can make Methacton's job not impossible, but very, very difficult.
All right, here come the Eagles. 2nd down and 6 at the 15-yard line. I formation. Coleman off the left side, bangs ahead for about 5 yards. It'll be 3rd and 1.
Injured Norristown player on the field. I can't make out the number right yet, Joe.
Winning number on the 50-50. 192 393. 192 393.
I had to buy these tickets torn up.
You were trashing him, not cashing him, Joe.
That's right. They just announced the results of the 50-50 drawing, and as usual, I came up empty. But it was for a good cause.
Yes, it was. The Football Boosters Club.
I should buy the tickets torn up already.
Joe, have you been able to determine the injured Norristown players?
No,
number 4?
Number 4, yeah,
That's
it's number AJ Pettigrew.
Coach Steve Horner doesn't like to see that. Well, neither well. It's a good sign when they get up and walk out under their own power. He's an outstanding varsity wrestler also for the Norristown wrestling program. Again, a 2-sport athlete and maintaining grades academically, and takes a special individual, a special commitment.
That's why I prefer, Tom, to watch high school football than college or pros.
It's certainly the purest sense of the meaning of the word student athlete.
All right, we have a 3rd down and 2 situation, ball at the 12-yard line of Methacton.
And again, I think this would be 4-down territory if the Eagles fail to get it here.
Yeah. Eagles in the I formation. Handoff to number 2.
Oh, yeah.
That's Robbie Coleman. I think he might have gotten the 1st down. Yeah, he did get the 1st down. Blocking there was led by number 72. That's Nick Toto, who's been a rock on the offensive line for all 3 of Norristown's games this year. Nick Toto. All right, the ball's just inside the 10-yard line. It'll be 1st and goal for the Eagles.
Yeah, Nick Toto is the nephew of Upper Merion head coach Andy Toto, Joe,
who is has built a powerhouse across the river
in a short time period. Coleman.
Here's Coleman, hit in the backfield by there's number 46 again, Stevie Molesky. Excellent defensive play by Steve Molesky, who's been all over the field for the Warriors.
Yeah, he was in the backfield. He's on the backfield either side of the ball. As I said, he's a very active player. He almost plays it like they call the monster back, where he could spot up wherever he senses the play's going. It's going to be an interesting call here, Joe.
Yep, 2nd and 13. Eagles cannot get a 1st down.
Watch for the fade pattern. Post.
Incomplete in the end zone. Intended for number 19.
Jamal Blackwell.
That's Jamal Blackwell.
Tight end. I thought they might look to go to the wide side fade route there for Witter. He had single coverage, had a lot of area. Carmona had time. Instead, he threw in traffic. But actually, I don't know if that was a missed pattern, because Witter ran a post pattern, took his man right in there to the fray.
Yes. All right, number 80 out of the game for the Eagles.
John Jones.
is Johnny Jones. All right, 3rd and 13. Number 17 is flanked wide. That's Ken Witter, the sophomore sensation. He's looking for Witter, rolling to the right, throws up, incomplete. Incomplete in the deep end zone.
Holding, Joe. It's going to be a hold against Norristown.
That's number 36. The intended receiver was Raheem Allison.
Holding signaled right away, Joe, against the Eagles.
That pushes him out of field goal range.
If they were ever in it.
If they're ever in it, is right.
I still think that you're going to see 4 down territory here.
There's no doubt about it. This has been a disastrous series for the Eagles with penalties and an inability to crack that Methacton defense.
Joe, Norristown has to get in the end zone for a first down.
That's correct.
Or or it'll be a touchdown.
Right, they cannot get a first down.
Trip formation.
Single back. There's a screen to number 17. That's Kenny Witter. Nice soft hands on that. Did you see that, Tom?
Yeah, he's very talented. That's a nicely designed play. You're seeing more of that wide receiver screen in all levels of football, Joe.
Uh-huh. All right, the Eagles are going to call a timeout, talk about it, think about it, see what they want to do. It's 4th down, goal to go at the 17-yard line. Clock is stopped with 3 minutes, 7 seconds left.
Joe, there have been some time-consuming drives on both sides, both teams tonight.
Yep.
That makes for good, crisp, hard-fought football.
You're absolutely correct. There's absolutely nothing wrong, in my opinion, with a 7-3 football game. Especially if the Eagles are on top.
That's exactly right. Let's hope that our side wins.
Is that new Germantown play contributor?
No, you have a fight and stand.
Where?
There's a reason. You have a fight and stand.
All right, 4th and 17. 3 minutes left to play in the 3rd period. Norristown got as close as the 9-yard line. 2 disastrous running plays and a very costly penalty have pushed them back to the Methacton 17-yard line. Methacton has put up a very good defensive stand here to keep the Eagles away from pay dirt.
Joe, what play I like here is to send maybe 2 men deep to one side, flood an area, send maybe a tight, and then just a little drop pass right in about the 5-yard line. Just drag a tight end maybe right over the middle.
There's a pitch. It's an option pass.
Intercepted, and he's running it back.
Interception, number 12, that's John Hanrahan. That's the 3rd interception. 2 for Fogel, 1 for Hanrahan.
Joe, not that bad. I'll tell you, I like the play. I like the call. What they did, they isolated a tall wide receiver on a Methacton D-back. They had the halfback option pass by Sammy Johnson, a left-hander, which is really tough to practice during the week. And it was just a jump ball situation.
Yep.
If he catches it, it's a touchdown. If not, it's there you have, ball at the 25. No real damage except Norristown wasted an excellent chance when they had that holding penalty.
All right, here's a timeout on the field. There's another problem with the clock. It seems to be frozen at 3 minutes, 7 seconds. Second time we've had some problem with the scoreboard clock. They may start keeping the time on the field, Tom. All right, here's Hanrahan over the ball. Marvin Phoenix, single setback. Here's a counter play.
It's the
Bangs
first,
out about 5 yards.
yeah, that's the adjustment that perhaps Methacton made or talked about at halftime, adding another little wrinkle to their offensive package.
That was a handoff to the wingback, a young man by the name of Han O, a 5'7", 165-pound junior. Han O. All right, here come the Warriors. Second down, 4 yards to go. Single setback is Marvin Phoenix. Hanrahan over the ball. Handoff to Phoenix around the left end.
Into the
Picks up
secondary.
15, 20 yards. And there's a flag, unnecessary roughness, probably against Sammy Johnson. That'll be a personal foul on number 3.
Absolutely uncalled for. Absolutely uncalled for. That is not an aggressive penalty. That is just a mental blunder. Poor decision making. Head not in the game. It's going to be a free 15 yards in a 4-point ball game. And you blame that on what you see on TV from the pros, Joe. These kids, they admire these pro guys. And, just looking back last Sunday, who was the Eagles player?
Harris. Al Harris.
Al Harris committed, 2 or 3 personal fouls? These kids see that. And
yeah, I'm sure Coach Grove was not happy with that.
As a matter of fact, did he pull him out of the game? I would have.
Here's a handoff to Phoenix. Breaks through for about 8 yards. Marvin Phoenix. The Methacton offensive line is starting to punch holes in the Norristown defensive set.
I was talking to Steve Harner at halftime, Joe. He went to the Upper Merion Methacton game last week, and he said Methacton in the second half was much stronger. And he said...
that speaks to good conditioning, Tom.
And good conditioning, and also... And there's another personal foul against Norristown. They're self-destructing now, Joe. This is where discipline comes in handy when you have to... that was, I believe, inadvertent, only 5 yards.
All right, it'll be first down for the Warriors at the Norristown 23-yard line. 2 minutes, 9 seconds left to play. Methacton driving.
And Norristown's helping them with their foolish penalties.
Here's Hanrahan. Handoff to Marvin Phoenix. Pull down. Thrown out of bounds by number 81 for Norristown. That's Carl Fisher. Not a very pretty tackle.
No, matter of fact, he threw him forward 2 or 3 yards.
Yeah.
Contact was actually made right at the line of scrimmage.
All right, here's Hanrahan, single back, pitch to Marvin Phoenix, looks to throw, doesn't throw, reverses his field to the 20, to the 15, to the 10, scrambles down to the 5-yard line. Marvin Phoenix.
Outstanding effort there, very, very smart run. He saw he was hemmed in around the right side. He even showed pass, which froze the secondary a little bit. He used the fake pass to cut back against the grain. Very impressed with him this evening, Joe.
Yes, he's a good back. He's a good football player. And even more impressive is the fact that he's playing defensive in the defensive secondary as well. All right, it's Methacton's ball. First down and goal on the 6-yard line. There's a triple I formation.
This is something we haven't seen.
There's Phoenix. Grinds it down to about the 5-yard line. Pick up about 1 yard at most.
That looked like their goal line offense, Joe.
Yep.
Power I formation.
Number 3, Sammy Johnson was there. 2nd and 5. Ball on the 5. $18 seconds left to play in the third period. This will be the last play of the period. Here's Hanrahan. Rolling right. Looks to throw, wide open. Touchdown.
Well executed, beautiful play. That's what the drag pattern is, Joe. Just a you fake inside, you roll out right, you delay that tight end or wide out. He comes from the middle of the field wide open.
That's number 84 on the touchdown. That's Jeff Goff. Nice play, well-conceived play.
They already given Methacton their 10 points on the scoreboard, Joe. They're overly optimistic.
That penalty to Johnson, very, very crucial.
It looks like we have a penalty against Methacton here. Pushes the ball back to the 8, Joe.
Illegal substitution was the call. So that'll move the ball back 5 yards for Pengruber. That probably won't make a difference to the talented kicker.
25-yard extra point attempt here, but very important.
Nice hold. Blocked, partially blocked. All right.
All right, Joe, and that brings us 4 seconds remaining in the third period. Methacton 9 and Norristown 7.